Welcome back. So I'm back here, but this time is on Good Afternoon Ghana, and definitely we're picking all the pieces together and mending them. We're doing the analysis after the results of the new executives that have taken over the NPP as a political party. So over the weekend, the party actually took to its final stage of elections and deciding on how to repackage it and present to the people of Ghana, and then also prepare the party towards election 2024. Basically, that is the work of a political party. And so this is the new machinery that has taken charge of the NPP. Definitely a new crop of leadership. We have the chairman being Stephen Ayensu in team. Apparently today happens to be his birthday, so happy birthday to you, sir, and we wish you all the best. Now, the first vice chair that will work with Stephen in team is Dankwa Smith Botley. Now, second vice chairperson is Rita Talata Asobayer, and it's a good thing because, well, there's a woman at least within the chairmanship, position. Third vice chairperson Alhaji Nasawudu Usman. Now, we also have one person that I actually tipped to win, and I'm happy to tell you that I'm not a poster, but I won. General Secretary Justin Kodia, congratulations to you. Now, National Organizer Henry Nana Boache there. Also, we have the National Treasurer is Charles Jamina, taking the National Treasurer position now. Youth Organizer Salam Mustafa won for the Youth Organizer. Women's Organizer Kate Jemfua, Nasara Coordinator Aziz Haruna Futa. And that's it for the list of the men in the seat or in the driving seat to drive the NPP beyond 2024 by breaking the eight. We'll be having an interaction with one individual who has been on Stephen and Tim's team, Frederick Amiao, to tell us some more on what happened, what did the trick for them, how it feels like going forward, what will be the strategy. I'll be back shortly. This is Good Afternoon, Ghana.
They've come to you since they want power.
It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. Be our person only John Boyd. I contest the BR of a show.
John Boyd will lose this election. I will punish you for that. But you see what will happen to John Boyd. I swear to God. Every executive, because when you go to party headquarters, there's nobody there. Grassroots will listen to me. There's nobody at party.
Welcome back. So it is the analysis of the NPP Delegates Conference over the weekend that has given birth to new leadership, new agenda, and new energy. The party ready to, break the eight. What are the factors that are going to help them? Are these leaders also going to contribute to the efforts of breaking the eight? So we will go to Benefsing. First of all, let me welcome Frederick Kofi Amiao. I think he's been one of the happiest, assistants. Before the party, when you put in so much energy and I think it pays off, you must be happy.
I am.
So I assume you're excited.
Yeah, I am.
Right. So Kofi Amiao happens to be the branding and communications manager for Stephen and team. He was also his spokesperson in 2018. Remember that we've said that Stephen and team has gone so many times and it didn't really work until, like Stephen and team himself said, 20 years in the wilderness. He has been he has been hectic. So we thank God and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We will go straight onto the phone lines and speak with pollster beneficent. Remember that he has interacted with the media a couple of times before this, contest. Some of you have criticized him pretty well, but we are going to him to speak to him, to respond to why some of the results didn't really tally with some of the predictions he made, especially in the area of, John Boadu. So, Beneficent, thank you for your time, and you're welcome to Good Afternoon, Ghana.
Good afternoon to your viewers.
So, you definitely must have gone through the whole night with us at Metro TV, and you know what has happened. First of all, tell us what you make of the whole results.
I think that the results are a reflection of the views of majority of the 6,800 who voted. I think that reflects their view.
So how do you respond to, especially in the area of the General Secretary, you did some predictions. Which ones have you been disappointed in? Or if not disappointed, explain to us why.
You see, I think that if people listen, either they listen when they are eating or they don't listen to my full statement. I said that when an incumbent is contesting a position, and the explicit, if you play back my interview, the explicit example I gave was that if John Boadu is even 40% popular and 60% are against him, 2 or 3 strong candidates splitting those against him will let him win. So I said on that basis, John Boadu is likely to win. Yes, Kodua did well than I expected. But if you know that Bishu stepped down, Opoyansa did not do well as I expected. Now, what amazes me is that when I speak, and maybe out of 10, I get 1 that misses, people behave as if I am God. I am not. In 22 years of polling, I've got 83%. There's always a room for you getting it wrong. So I'm used to people disagreeing with me, but I don't ask people to go and take bets on my analysis. You understand? So yes, Kodua did well, better than expected. But that rule of thumb still holds. That if an incumbent is contesting against 2 or 3 strong candidates, and the incumbent is, let's say, 40% popular, the 3 strong candidates will split the 60% who are against the incumbent, and the incumbent will pass through. That is a rule of thumb that has passed many tests.
But you made actually quite a specific statement, apart from the explanation, that John Boadu is tipped to win, is likely to be in the lead. And so if it doesn't happen that way, people obviously don't know the processes you go through to come, to a conclusion as far as polls are concerned. And they probably may not be able to appreciate margins of errors in polls. So it's okay for them to either criticize you or ask for questions to explain. Maybe in the last minutes of elections, some things may go wrong, and it's okay if your post.
Madam, no. I listening.
Yeah.
I am not averse to people criticizing me. Not at all. Do you get it? When people, I don't ask people to bet on my opinion polls. Do you get it?
Right.
So yes, so if you bet on my opinion polls and you lose, why should you be angry? Do you get me? I mean, the way people make fetish, if I missed 1 out of 10, it's as if I've committed a crime. I'm averse to people criticizing. Do you understand? But when they make it as if I've asked that go and bet your house or car or whatever I'm going to say, that is not like this. In 22 years, my record of 83%, I missed only one in 2016. And I've been polling for 22 years. So when people make a fetty, you said this, you got it wrong, as if I've asked somebody to go and bet his house or car on my opinion polls. Do you get me?
Right.
That is what I want to make it clear. And I won't stop the opinion polls. That one, I won't stop it.
I
Don't
was,
you think I will stop?
I was
They're
just going
lying.
to ask you because, you know, sometimes, even though you might get majority correct, when one goes wrong, it may affect your office as a pollster. And sometimes when polls come out, people may, you know, throw some doubts at it. So if it's going to
See,
disturb
madam,
you.
when polls come out, first and foremost, you don't need to get permission or certificate from anybody to do polls. You don't need to get that. So if somebody also feels that he wants to do polls, the person is welcome to do the polls. I started polling from 1996 to date. 7 polls. The only one I missed was in 2016, in which polls in the US missed, polls in Britain missed, and all the 3 of us, our main problem was we did not take into account apathy. Your backyard getting out to vote. I did it in 20s, I did it in 2020, I got it right. So when people criticize me, I don't have a problem. I'm not above criticism. Even Jesus Christ, people criticize him. But when people get angry with me, I don't get it. It's as if I've asked you to go and bet your house or your wife on my post. Do you get me? When
Right.
people criticize you didn't get it right, I say, okay, next I'll do it better. But when they are angry with me, hello, I've asked you to go and bet your car on my post. No. I'm not averse to criticism at all.
So let's come to the issue of the chairmanship. You said that you actually didn't mince words when you described the national chairmanship position to be a competitive one. But as you saw, Stephen and team went through with no hassle.
Please, you play back my interview on Stephen Intim. I said Mr. Intim is the favorite to win, and it depends on how he will react to a question that has often been asked. Why are you going for the 5th time? Play back the interview. I said that is a crucial question that people are going to ask him. He's the favorite and he will win if he's able to satisfy majority of the delegates. The question is, why your 5th time?
Okay, my producers are letting me that they have that interview. So if you may hold on for us to play, for them to play for both of us, or maybe viewers as well. So
Okay.
Between
right.
now and Saturday is between 3 people. Stephen and Tim, Professor Mayor Kumfi, and Asamoah Barton. Stephen and Tim going for the 5th time is going to depend on how he's able to answer a question that people have been throwing at him. Why do you want it so badly that you are going for the 5th time? What is in there that after 4 times you want to go again? If he's able to answer that question satisfactorily, he will carry the day. If he doesn't, Professor Ameyu Kumfi may sneak through and win. He's the dark horse in the race. You know, he entered late. As at last week, we pick up intel that he was in the northern regions. So, like I said, it's between the 3. If Stephen Tim rules himself out by not being able to answer satisfactorily, then it will be head-on between Professor Mayor Kumfi and Asamoah Barton.
Right, Benefson, so that was clear enough that if he's able to answer the question of why he wants to go the 5th time.
Yes, he'll win.
So is it possible that he was able to answer those questions with delegates? Well, I have one of his men here, to respond to that. But is it possible that he answered those questions properly?
Yes, there was one question. Why going the fifth time? And I said his ability to answer to delegates why he wants to go a fifth time will help him win.
So the John Boadu one, you said the chance of John Boadu, the incumbent secretary, is greater chance returning due to the gross popularity. He also explained, and you said that the other candidates for general secretary position would split votes to provide the incumbent with a smooth advantage. Obviously, John Boadu's popularity rather went against him, as many people were jubilating, even on the field when the results were called.
You see, I said that as a general rule of thumb, if an incumbent is 40% popular, that means 60% are against him. And there are 2 or 3 tough competitors contesting with him. It plays to the incumbent, who is generally less popular, because they will split the 60%. So if the two, Kodua and Opariansa or Kodua and Bisu, were strong, they may split the 60%, get 30-30, and Wedu would have gone through with 40%. But Kodua did very well to get those votes. And that rule of thumb applies to about 90% of situations where an incumbent may be unpopular, but is facing strong candidates. And Bisu, Kodua, and Operansa, even before voting, were presumed to be strong candidates, but Bisu stepped down, and Kodua did well, better than I expected.
Let's the overall. So we had Nana B. What do you make of Nana B also coming through? Was he on your list? I didn't hear you much on Nana B, but was he on your list?
Well, no, I mean, I did work. I started working on the NPP elections. I concentrated more on the polling station constituency at regional levels, because I'd been doing something to find out who will be the flag bearer. Now, over the weekend, those who voted were less than 6,800. So if you're the flag bearer, you haven't got your person selected at this level, because 205,000 delegates will vote. So the questions concerning over the weekend was just on 2. But in Abi, I said that he's likely to win, because if you see the list, the potential winners, there's hardly anyone from the Ashanti region. Look, let's face it. For NDC, majority of the delegates throughout the country will be from the 3 northern regions and Volta region. That's their stronghold. And for the NPP, majority of the delegates will be from Ashanti and Eastern regions. And I said that concerning Nanabi, that was Glover lost his seat, but Nanabi may have the edge because an Ashanti. If you look at the potential winners in the list, there are no Ashantis in it. And you can see that Atos Glover did very well.
Interesting dynamics there. So we should be expecting the polls on the flag bearership race?
Yes, I've done the polls. I've even done elections if they were held as at the end of May, involving the flag bearership race. Because if the flag bearer, you wait till the national elections, national officers, 6,800 maximum. And you are expecting, if you don't have your people elected, in majority of the 200,000, your legs are outside. You never go up on thing. So I have a fight, and the flag bearership race is between 3 people, Bamia, the Japan, and Alan Martin. As to who would win or who would fare better against MPP or NDC, hopefully my 7th book on Ghanaian elections will be reading about 5-6 weeks. You have an idea, and we can talk on that.
So, I mean, concerning what Ghanaians have said, you want Ghanaians to continue trusting the polls from Benepsin?
22 years, they track. Those who don't want to track, I can't force them to track my polls. I can't force them.
But you can't say that.
I can't. I'm saying that if after 22 years, my track record is 83%, and you want somebody who will give you 100%, go to that person. Do you get me?
I get you.
Yes, I mean, anybody can decide to do polling. You don't need permission from anybody. So in 22 years, yes, I've done 7 polls. I made one in 2016. The rest, I was dead on. And you think that you don't want to believe my polls. I can't force you to believe my polls. I hope you are with me.
Right.
Yes, I mean, people behave as if when I say something, it must happen. Or they go and bet with their cars and houses. I don't bet with my own polls. Why should you go and bet on my polls?
But Epson, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We'll get back to you. Right. So that's Ben Epson responding to some of the issues. I just hope that he's been able to respond to some of your criticisms. Kofi,
Honey,
are you okay with all the responses?
yeah, I don't care if one, so any other matter, it really doesn't bother me. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I think on the issue of Stephen Intim, but before, let me seize this opportunity to say a very good afternoon to your viewers, and also to wish my boss, Chairman Stephen Intim, a happy 64th birthday. I recall 4 years ago when we lost the elections in Koforidua, and then I think a week later we had to celebrate his birthday. It wasn't a very good birthday party, but we managed to celebrate it. This time, I'm trying to do something on the quiet. But all you know, I think Ben Epson said something that if Mr. Intim will be able to answer the question why he's coming again, that it will inure to his benefit. And I think we were able as a team to answer
respond.
that specific question, because people were like, why? Ebe is just too much. I mean, you've come 2005.
So you had that,
Okay, we had
you
those,
know, body language.
Yeah, we had those issues raised. So it was a deliberate attempt for the Branding and Communications Department to put out a strong message, out there that, I mean, this is the man to come and rescue the party, regardless of how many times. So if you realize, before it used to be time as soon, then we added the time as soon to break the 8. We wanted people to move away from time as soon felt and appeared a bit entitled. Like, time as soon to make him the chairman because he has been coming. No, I mean,
That's not what you want.
No, let's look at his demonstrable records. I mean, and it's clear for anybody to see. When he was the first vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party, he ensured that every regional office will receive a vehicle to operate. And this, even in 2018, there was a similar attempt to provide buses to constituencies. This is something the man has done already in 2004. And again, he provided building plans to constituency offices to be able to have their secretariats. That was as far back as 2004. So when he even loses elections, he ensured that every parliamentary candidate will receive one form of support or the other. So the track record, was there or is still there. And beyond that, he comes and he loses, and it gave him a wall of experience that the party could tap in from. And I think Saturday, the overwhelming endorsement, the 72%, unprecedented in the history of our election, NPP's election. No chairman has won with that particular margin before, over 3,000 votes. It goes to show that indeed our message found favor with the rank and file of the party. So what was
the message? What was the message?
The message is that there is a man that serves as a signpost to unite the party. The NPP cannot hold together and work together if there is no unity. And this man is an embodiment of unity. And when we say he's an embodiment of unity, what we mean is that if you lose an election, okay, and you stay home, and then you don't do anything, you don't bring the party into disrepute, you ensure that you don't say anything that would disdain the party. You also ensure that at the end of the day, your conduct will be one that will inure to the benefit of the party to ensure the party continues to do better. He has been able to do all these things. So tomorrow, if, for example, somebody in a polling station, had an issue with the processes or the system, Stephen Intim will be able to tell you, okay, hold on, I can resolve this. Because even me, for the last 20 years that I've been contesting, I haven't been successful. But have you ever heard me say anything ill about the party? Mm-hmm. You cannot. He has been disciplined. Have you ever?
I mean, is it not saying anything ill about the party means discipline?
Of course. I mean, we heard. I mean, you were there. You
So
heard.
you are pained, but
No.
you are swallowing the pain?
That's
You're sitting on
that's
the
a mark
pain?
of maturity. It's not like you are pain. If you are pain, you don't come back like he always does. And anytime he comes back strong. He always plays second. You get it? So for me, yes. I mean, he's a human being. He one time or the other feel a bit, bad about one thing or the other. But the ability to be able to hold on to it and ensure that it doesn't become the predominant or the preoccupation of your mindset and your body language and your attitude towards ensuring that NPP indeed becomes the party of the nation, for me, is a hallmark of a great leader. This man has demonstrated, I mean, I have been with him for the last 4 years, almost every now and then we speak, almost every week we contact to ensure that we will get to where we are today. And I have no doubt in my mind that the overwhelming endorsement and support and win that he got on Saturday is deserving. This is not a matter of because he has been coming or a matter of sympathy. It's a matter of, because I'm a party person first before I started working with him. And I see a great leader in him. I see a man who can unite the party. I see a man who can mobilize and galvanize the party. I see a man when you say Choboy, the people will say yay. And nobody has been so hopeful in the last 2 years in terms of making sure we are able to break the 8 than this last Saturday. The last 2-3 days, NPP is seen as so ready, okay, to really break the 8. We are more than ready with Chairman Intim as the national chairman to indeed break the 8. I am extremely happy as a, political or NPP person first. And then, of course, I'm glad that my little contribution was able to help him achieve this wonderful feat.
So he has given the message of trying to unite, being the best person to unite the party. Of course, after elections like this, there are a lot of, grievances to break off. So aside that, I think it's Ghana first, even before the party.
Sure.
And the whole agenda of the party has been, we want to break the 8, we want to break the 8. We know how Ghanaians at this point in time are so aggrieved and they don't want to see anything party, political, whatever. They just are not okay. And I'm wondering, well, Stephen Ntim has not been in the main governance system. And so Ghanaians probably will see him as a little neutral, somebody new that's coming on board. But what are his agenda, priorities, how he's really going to be able to work through? I'm sure that the General Secretary is the first person that is also going to be, dragged along, because that is the General Secretary, almost the CEO of the party. How is he going to put all that together?
First of all, we admit that we are not in normal times. The economy is not what we expected it to be. In fact, we never dreamt of going back to the IMF for one form of assistance or the other. And these were reiterated, re-echoed, and emphasized on many occasions by the president, by the finance minister. And the truth of the matter is that where we find ourselves now is not wholly as a result of our mismanagement or incompetence, but is clearly as put out there by the consequences and the cascading effect of a global pandemic that affected the financial market, that affected the global supply chain, and that has affected all economies. Even the most resilient and the robust economies were, badly hit by the COVID. I recall I was in certain jurisdiction at the time when the COVID struck, and they were struggling to find solutions to this problem. And then, unfortunately, the Russian-Ukraine war has exacerbated our issues. That notwithstanding, we have admitted that it has brought some challenges. Of course, when the president, in one of his many addresses to Ghanaians, and he said, we know how to bring the economy back to life. What we do not know is how to bring people back to life. It was a clear admission that the economy would die at a certain stage. The economy will go down. But it will take the new patriotic party to be able to bring the economy back to life. Now, to answer your question, what in Stephen Ntim, what we call the Ntim factor will be is that, look, when you look at election, the history of our elections in this country, a political party will lose an election when there's a great apathy in the party, when the people are not willing to go out there and vote, or to go out there and then campaign for the party to come back to power. Because when you look at things, we have about 12% of rational voters, people who are so-called neutral. And they make decisions, they vote based on the fact that your principles, your policies, your programs, your enactment of laws find favor with them. And that they believe in your ability and your wherewithal as a government. These 12% are there for anybody to go in and tap into. Now you have your core supporters who would vote for you regardless, okay? Now, what usually happens when a political party loses election or loses, power is the fact that the people don't go out there and vote. They do not campaign. They don't rally together. Absolutely. So now, if in team with what we saw in Accra Sports Stadium is anything to go by, it means that the party and the rank and file of the party, for that matter, is ready to support him and work with him. Now, we have a challenge to make sure we carry on with the wind that blew on Saturday and ensure that we address the teething challenges of the party. And that's the fractions, the cracks, the disputes, and all these things. And he has promised that when given the nod, within 100 days, we'll be able to resolve all the conflicts in all the constituencies. And we are working on it. We've started doing it already. So when we're able to do that, that gives us an assurance. Now, let's look at how do we get that 12% to be able to ensure that we break the 8. By doing so, I believe majority, about 80% of the 12%, believes that what is happening in Ghana, the economic challenges we are going through, are not solely or wholly as a result of the incompetence or the mismanagement of the economy. What they believe, of course, there were other issues, maybe hitherto we should have held on to it, or probably some expenditures. I'm talking about maybe the size of the government. At some point, we were doing over 120. We saw the need to reduce. The other things we could have done, okay? That is an argument we can have. But the reality and the truth of the matter is that
that's a fact you're faced with, and you have to do it.
we will do it, and we are doing it. In fact, when it comes to reducing expenditure, that is why we brought the Fiscal Responsibility Council and the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And there's one law that I think the MDC started it, the Public Management Act.
Give me.
Oh, it's wonderful. The processes are there. The system has been instituted to ensure that we be able to fight corruption and reduce wastage in the system. But these things do take time. Now, the bottom line is that we have 2.5 years to be able to fix the mess in which we find ourselves, okay? That is why going to IMF is so hard for us, but it's the right thing to do at this particular time. I am extremely optimistic and hopeful that in the next 2.5 years, the MPP do have the men to be able to ensure that we rescue this economy back again. We have the men with the wherewithal and the competence to ensure that at the end of the day, we come back to the trajectory of glory days. I know for a fact that we will fix this economy. And once we're able to fix the economy, and once Stephen Ntim is able to galvanize and mobilize the party behind the government, trust me, Annie, we will be able to break the 8.
Did Tesco not voting affect you in any way? Of course it didn't.
3,000 votes.
I mean,
I know, right?
it didn't.
But it was unfortunate that they couldn't vote.
They couldn't vote.
There's a problem, I think, as soon as possible, we need to fix. The lacuna that exists, that the TESCOM president or a representative. So the issue is the representative. It's not clear who that representative, and people have been trying to, do their things. And then I think.
So guess what? I have Emmanuel Darko. Mm-hmm. He's TESCOM president, Accra Technical University. I think he's joined me via Zoom. Emmanuel, if you can hear me, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Hello, Emmanuel. Kindly unmute. I think you're muted, so unmute your mic.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Okay, great. I can hear you. So let's do a quick one before I can wrap up with Kofi. So what's happening to TESCOM now after the elections?
Okay, so TESCOM nationwide, we decided to keep all our activities on hold for now because of we being disenfranchised on Saturday election. Yeah.
Are you aggrieved?
Yes, because to to bus most of our colleagues from the Upper West, Upper East, from the Northern regions, from the Bono region, 17 hours on the road to Greater Accra, and just be told that you are not voting. I think that's unfair.
Hello, Dakum. You said those the members from those regions, what they voted? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying they voted. I'm saying that to buy some people, like most of our colleagues from this long distance, let's say for we in the Greater Accra region, we are in the region already. People in the Eastern region, yes, can be considered. But our brothers from the Northern region, from the Upper East, Upper West, from Bono Ahafo region, come to Greater Accra, 17 hours on the road, and just to be told that you are not voting, I think that is unfair to that point. Yes.
Okay, I get you. I heard there was a meeting. You had a meeting with the president. Did you confirm that for me or deny? Did you?
No, we've not had a meeting.
So have you had a meeting with any of party leaders?
No, please. No one has reached us yet.
Have you tried arranging for any meeting?
That's why we just read the petition to our national youth organizer, that's Honorable Salam Mohammed Mustafa, and we believe that he's able and competent to call all our parts on board and then dialogue on this issue.
What was the reason given to you that you can't vote?
Yes, as you can, in our letter, we also don't know the reason why they said we can't vote. We just go to Accra Sports Stadium on Saturday, and we were just told that an injunction has been placed on the TESCON leg. We are not informed who did it. We didn't see the injunction letter. So we at some point we were made to believe, I don't know, that it was a deliberate attempt, because even when we go to the stadium, we were not having a stand there. Unlike the other regions, the MMDC, the MP, they all had stands, but TESCON never had a stand. And even with the issue of accreditation, let's take Greater Accra, for example, we are in a total of 129, but we're giving accreditation less than 30. So we need to take people in, collect the accreditation, send it out to the extent that we're able to bring all that 128 to the stadium. We got there, we didn't have a stand. When we're even told that an injunction has been placed on TESCON, we never had anyone to come and talk to us, which I think that it doesn't speak well of a political party that believes in democracy and believes that TESCON is the intellectual wing of the New Patriotic Party.
So what are you going to do from here? I mean, I don't know. I spoke with Kennedy Japan, who indicated that if you are prevented from voting, you're going to be so aggrieved, you might break away from the party. I mean, all kinds of things. What are you doing going forward?
We have spoken to, yes, some of our colleagues have threatened to even walk away from the party, but the accounts have a saying that we think that the NPP is the party that we all believe in. We all believe in the Dankwa Dombo tradition. And I think that what we call for, even though some of our colleagues have threatened, we just settle them down. We are like, let us solve this thing together. Let us sit with the leader and solve this thing. With the issue of the rep that my colleague in the studio just mentioned, in the Constitution, it didn't say the president or the representative. It says that a representative from every TESCON institution, which I think makes it so wide that everyone can represent TESCON, which is bad. And in our TESCON Constitution, it has been stated that representative for program and election will be determined by the regional youth wing in consultation with the national youth wing in consultation with the regional youth wing. That, I think, that makes it okay for regional youth organizer and national youth organizer to determine who to vote and who not to vote. But the same constitution makes the president the chief spokesperson of the TESCON branch. So how can I be the chief spokesperson at my branch, and when going for an election, the national youth organizer or the regional youth organizer determine who needs to vote there? I think that clause needs to be amended. It needs to represent the leaders of TESCON. So if it is election, the president needs to represent. If it's one representative, it should be the president, not any other representative.
Wow. Well, we'll follow through with you and see how you're also going to get out of this issue. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Emmanuel Dakun, TESCOM President, Accra Technical University there. I still have Kofi with me. I have to give you the bite of Benefsin, what he said about the General Secretary position. Kofi, I can't let you go without you mentioning what happened to the General Secretary issue.
What do you think happened? The people made a choice. They made a decision. They decided to go with Justin Kodua Frimpong. I know Justin personally. In fact, one of my greatest achievements was to have facilitated a program between the UN Office of Human Resources and the YEA. But when the opportunity was presented to me when I was in the office in New York, quickly I called him, and he made it, extremely wonderful for me. So I have that personal relationship with him, and I think he will do a fantastic job, and he will be a very fine young general secretary. I think we
I
need
remember
that.
when I was, vying for him somewhere in one, I don't know, community I found myself, and people I was talking to were doubting, oh no, I mean, he cannot, do the job, and I said he can do the job. I hadn't met him. I don't know him anywhere. In fact, I really don't know even how his personality really is like. I just saw his picture, and I was like, this guy has to win, and he'll win. So I felt,
So I was there with a friend, a young person, and she was able to connect. So this is what we need. He appeals to the millennia, and I think we need that. We have to move away from the conservativeness, the old school. So now look at what we are.
So Sir John is old school.
Look at what we are presented with.
But Sir John is not old school.
Look at what Sir John is gone. You mean
Yes,
JB or Sir John?
Sorry, John Bodu, yes. But
look
he's
at
not
what
old
we are
school.
presented with. We have somebody who is a reminder of the true tradition and principles of the New Patriotic Party. I'm talking about Stephen Intim,
Okay.
Ayesu Intim. It's not Ayensu. I realize you people wrote Ayensu. It's
Okay.
Ayesu.
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 Okay, Henry, take note, please.
Okay. And then you have his general secretary, a young person, caretaker enough. So this will be able to, it's a beautiful blend, and I think we will do so well. He appeals to the youth of the party, which for me is great. NPP, we are ready for 2024.
So someone says that the NPP as a party used the TESCON in the recent constituency elections in the regional elections. The question is, what has changed? Annie, good afternoon to you. Please let your guests in the studio understand that whatever happens to the economy from now on cannot be attributed to the government, but to the IMF. It is the IMF who is going to manage our economy from now on. The NPP have no men to manage the country, as they lied to us in the past. Lord Lawrence from Afinia sent that in. How will you respond to that?
We do. You see, we've been here before. Okay, even when you look at the micro,
As a country?
of course,
Or as a party?
as a country, where it was so difficult that the country was losing $2 million every single year. I'm talking about business communities. I'm referring to the Doomsaw. It took away a lot from us as a people. And we are here, and I am extremely optimistic. For now, everybody can say what...
It means we can say that the NDC also had the men.
They were not able to rescue us, by the way.
But will you be able to rescue?
Oh, we are on course. Trust me, and in the next year or two...
But it's a fact that the IMF is now going to manage our economy.
It's not true. That's not how it works.
How does it work?
So you go to the IMF with your own policies and programs. So they will review it.
Yeah.
And tell you, okay, we think if you do A, if you do B, if you do C. They don't entirely manage your economy.
But
They
we
just
don't know the
review.
policy the NPP presented to the IMF.
Definitely, we will get to know what the policies are. It's not something that will be in
Like a
secret.
homegrown policy.
We already have a policy. We had the Obatan packet. You see,
Yeah.
what we are faced with, there are three sources of revenue to government for government business or expenditure. We have the donor support, which is a bit negligible. Then we have the tax revenue, and then we have the loans.
But policies like Obatampa Care,
Let me make this point. So now our tax to GDP, is so low compared to even the sector. The West
sub-region.
African, the sub-region. And then you realize that when we attempted to introduce the e-levy, the stiff opposition and the obstruction nature of the opposition affected the e-levy to the extent that it was supposed to have been implemented beginning of the year. It went as far back as the first quarter of the year. That affected revenue. So not until we come together as a people to be able to mobilize revenue locally, we have to go to the financial market.
Right.
Unfortunately, the financial market, there's not much to be.
Let me take a
taken
quick
there.
breather. When I come back, we will wrap up.
Okay.
That John Bodu has a bit of the other two contenders who might come close to him will be Charles Bisu and Opariansa. You see, when you have 5 or 6 people contesting, and there are 4 strong ones, it gives the incumbent an advantage. So, for example, if John Bodu is 30-35% popular, that means he's 65-70% unpopular. Those 3 or 4 strong candidates will be splitting those votes. So you will see that John Bodu may end up retaining his position with about 40% or less of the votes.
Welcome back to Good Afternoon, Ghana. So it's been an exciting road where we have been able to speak with Benefsin and, of course, Tescon, one of the executives as well. I'm still with Kofi Ameyao, the winner or the winners for the competition. So, Kofi, thank you anyway. Thank you as well for the collaboration with the media, especially as Metro TV. I think you did us a lot of good, and it also helped us give quite an interesting. We've had a lot of applause from people, and so we are grateful that you gave us the support. Yeah, I know some media houses were aggrieved over a few things, but it is well.
You know you have friends in NPP, so
We
you don't
shall.
have an issue.
I have friends everywhere.
Oh, please.
No, we are not discussing this
Anyway,
on
my
air.
assistant.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
Obama was my assistant.
So Obama was your assistant.
Yeah. So you see, don't say anything. I will tell him. If
Okay,
you do, I'll
tell
you.
me.
Okay. I mean, you have given me the opportunity to really tell the good people of this country and MPP what in team can do. I don't know what his plans for the campaign team moving forward is. What we do know and what we assisted him with is to, one, ensure that there's unity in the party. And that's why he has assured the party that within 100 days of his administration, he will resolve all conflicts in the party. He also talked about resourcing the party, making sure he mobilized enough of resources so that when we are going to elections, it wouldn't be like 2 weeks to elections. That's when you find, pickups coming in, T-shirts, one logistics or the other coming in late. He talked about building capacity. For example, I'm a member of the National Communications team, and there's the need for us to really resource the communication wing of the party in terms of information assessment, getting real-time information from various agencies, ministries, and departments. The research department of the party must be resourced enough to have all the support they need to give to the party communicators to do their job. He also talked about welfare, which is extremely important. People who have dedicated their lives to serving the party must be rewarded. They must be cushioned. They must be given the needed support that will help them to do more for the party. When we're able to do this, trust me, I think breaking the 8 and even doing more is possible. Then he talks about party-government relationship. That is extremely important. We have this tripod system where we have the constituency chairman, the parliamentary candidate or MP, and then the MMDC. There should be a very fluid relationship between these three to ensure that at the end of the day, there is this nexus, there is this connection that will exist for the party.
So the party chairman doesn't tell us that the party is not the government.
Exactly. We brought you to government. You can never eliminate.
I get uncomfortable when party chairman gives such responses. So, sometimes you ask issues of government and they ask as though we don't know what's going on in government. We're just a party.
That should never, ever exist. In fact, when you go to some other jurisdiction, the party chairman is like the prime minister.
Right.
Even if you go to Nigeria, you go to China, in fact, South Africa, the leader of the ANC becomes the president of South Africa. Right. That's how powerful their system and their structures are. So Intim will ensure that at the end of the day.
But let me ask you, as a branding and communications manager, how much did you pay delegates?
We didn't pay delegates anything. What we gave to delegates was our message. These 6-point plans.
So you paid zero?
We paid zero. We
For
don't need to pay.
3,000
We don't need to pay
votes.
delegate to vote for Intim. We don't need that. His message found favor with them, and they gave him an endorsing victory. Why are you smiling? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not
We didn't
smiling.
pay anything.
Now I'm smiling.
We didn't pay anything. Okay, let me seize this opportunity to thank my team, my communications team, but also seize this fine platform that you have given me to express my profound gratitude to two wonderful people who were of great support to me emotionally, physically. They were there throughout. Afrani, Ejay Afrani, and then one Frida Kukuando. Thank you so much for everything that you have done for me so far. I'm
Are they your
grateful.
sisters?
No, Afrani, Ejay is a guy, and then Frida
Oh, is a guy.
Kukuando is a friend.
Their friend.
Annie, she's a friend.
That's all time will allow us here. Good afternoon, Ghana. Frederick, Kofiami out there. Thank you for being with us again. We'll be back on Wednesday, but this will be repeated tomorrow. So you want to stay with us. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.